All right, cool. So we are YouTube live now, guys. So you know what you say is going to go live on camera. People on YouTube watching, welcome. We're here. This will be recorded so you can revisit what we're doing today on YouTube. If for some reason you missed something or want to redo it or catch up or reuse these steps. So people in front of you, you have all the steps, which we're going to go through today. Don't jump ahead, all right? Because there is an order. We're going to talk through each one. There is going to be a lot of downtime as far as YouTube goes because everybody here and you watching should be writing things down. This should be pages and pages and pages long. All right, this takes a little bit of time. The more detail you put on paper here, the better this process works. All right, so you'll see on top of your paper, there's a quote. So there's a really small difference between a dream and a goal. The only difference is a goal is written down. So if you write a dream down, it becomes a goal. So what we're doing today is we're going to take those big goals, the ones that you guys are afraid to tell people about. You don't want to say it out loud because you're embarrassed about it, or you're not sure it's going to happen because if you speak it out loud, you got to kind of work for it and you're afraid of it. Those are the ones we're working on. If you say, I want to lose 5 pounds, you're in the wrong place. Okay? That's just something you do. It's not hard. That's not big enough. If you say, I want to make $1 million in the next 2 years, now we're in the right world. Okay, so when I first did this, I wrote down goals. And one of my goals was I wanted to have our third baby. My wife and I struggled having kids. I wanted to have a third kid. So I put that out as a goal, worked through the process. We now have a baby due in 7 weeks, I think. All right, I think it's 7 weeks. I also put down that I wanted to separate myself from the day-to-day operations of my business because I was working so hard in the business. I wasn't working on the business. All right, it wasn't growing like it needed to because I was so close to everything that happened every day. So what did I do? Separated myself, and business doubled in a year. Okay, so those are the kind of goals we're talking about. The best way to figure out those goals for you is we're going to what if. All right, we all usually say what if, and it's a bad thing. Like, what if I fail? What if I don't make it? What if something happens? We're going to use it in a different way today and write down what if statements. Minimum of 3 what if statements. We're going to what if the good shit is how we say it. All right. So what if I make $1 million by 2025? What if I start my own business? What if I retire in the next 3 years? Whatever those big goals are that you might have, a what if goal. All right. Something so big you're afraid to say it to the person sitting next to you. What if? Take a second here, think about it, write down 3. 3 what if statements. Again, these are big. These are the goals that you're afraid to say to people. They don't have to be fitness related. They don't have to be health related. It can be anything. As someone that works out all the time and coaches every day, none of my goals had anything to do with coaching or fitness or working out or losing weight or gaining weight. They were all bigger. So guys, you on YouTube, make sure you're taking the time to write these things down as well. When we have space here to write things down, you guys should be writing them down and paying attention. Great thing about what we're doing here on YouTube is you can always go back and watch it again. If you need help figuring out what if statements, it's usually good to go 1 personal, 1 professional, and then 1 just extra, whatever works better for you. So if you need a direction, personal and professional, usually 2 things to start with that usually help. We good? See, some people are still writing. Does anybody want to share one? If I don't get a volunteer, I will point at somebody, and someone's got to speak out loud. And everybody's heads go down, eye contact stops. I love it. This is great. Give me one.
What if I become a firefighter?
That's beautiful. I love that. That's awesome. A career goal. Changing professions. What if I become a firefighter? That's awesome. Does your dad know about that?
Yeah.
Okay. He's sitting next to you. If he doesn't, he does now.
I thought it was just a volunteer one.
But yes.
Awesome. It's a great profession. We actually have quite a few here, so that's awesome. Cool. So you're going to take your goals here. All right? Pick the biggest one. The one that means the most to you, the one that scares you the most. Pick that one. We're going to work that one goal today. So your what if statements. All right? Look at them. We're going to pick one today. Now, it's great because you guys have this process. Once you leave here, you can do it with all the goals that you have. This is something after I wrote down my 3. I've reached 2 out of the 3 already. I have one that is well on its way. I started creating new ones. Okay? So use this process as you grow and your goals grow. Everybody have one they really like? Yeah? We're good? All right, circle that one. And on the count of 3, you ready? We're all going to read them out loud together at the same time. You just need to speak yours into the world. You ready? And if I don't see you talk, I'm going to make you stand up in front of the camera and do it. Deal? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, say it out loud. There you go. I like it. See? So even though you said it around a bunch of other people all at the same time, how did it feel saying it out loud? Maybe a little pit in their stomach, their chest hurts, their heart rate goes up a little bit. That's good. The fact that it makes you a little scared, a little nervous is good. It means it's big enough. That's what we want to shoot for here. All right? Great job. So, ready to start? First thing we're going to do. Who plays a primary role in this goal? So there's you, obviously, it's your goal. But for this goal to happen, for you to reach this goal, who has to be part of the process? Write down that name. It could be 1, 2 people. This usually is not a long list of people. Someone along the way is going to have to help at some point. If you're not sure, you can speak up and I can help you. So Amy, you okay? Okay. If you have a question where you can't think, I don't think anybody can help me with this goal, they probably can. You just got to think outside the box. Who's going to be affected by it? Who's going to interact with you during this goal? That kind of stuff. You need that person that is going to be involved, your primary role player. Everybody have that name written down? Cool. You have 48 hours from right now. Okay? It is 10:25 on the 20th. So by 10:25 on the 22nd, 48 hours from now, they need to know about this goal. Text, phone call, conversation, whatever you need to do to talk to this person. They need to know about this goal you have right now. If it's 2 people, talk to both these people. Okay? Share the goal. The reason we do this part of the process is very, very important. We have no problem as humans letting ourselves down. Because no one knows about it. We let ourselves down, it's fine. We just walk away and we swallow it, bury it in our stomachs, and keep going with our daily lives. What we do have a problem with is letting other people down. So the more people involved in our goals, the better chance we have of succeeding. Does that make sense? All right. So 48 hours to tell these 1 or 2 people. Okay. Who's going to play a secondary role? Usually a few more people. All right. Yeah, those primary people that they need them. Secondary role, it's usually a few more people you're going to tell about this goal that at some point along the way are going to be involved in the process. All right. Write them down. There's always a couple more secondary role players. You have them written down? Cool. By next Saturday at 10:25, all of those people written down will know about this goal. You need to reach out to each one of them. Text, email, phone call, conversation face-to-face. Hey, just so you know, I'm working on this. At some point, I might need your help with it. Okay? Again, the more people involved, the better chance at success you have with these goals. And we get a little more nervous now that we're telling other people about it. Yeah, scary, right? It's fun. And the last list of people. Who will hold you accountable to this goal? They might not have anything to do with the success of this goal. You might not need their help along the way, but you have that person that will call you out and hold you accountable to reaching your goals. Friend, family, gym buddy, whatever it is, they will call you out if you quit. They will ask you about this on a regular basis. Hey, heard you want to do that thing. How's it going? All right. Write their names down. Told you, a lot of writing. Write their names down. Everybody has that person that's going to hold them accountable and call them out on their crap. You know who it is. Got them written down? Cool. These are the first people you're telling. You have 24 hours. By 10:25 tomorrow morning, these people will know about this goal. All right? You have 24 hours to call these people, these individuals, friends, family, whoever they are, and let them know, hey, I'm doing this. Because of the people that are going to call you out the most, they're probably going to have the most questions. Which the more questions you get about your goal, the better it is. Makes you think about the details of what you want to do more. Okay, and the more you have to talk about it, explain the reasons whys and the hows and the wheres and the whos, the better chance you have of reaching these goals. Does that all make sense? We're still stressed out about this now. Some people are sweating. I saw some sleeves get rolled up. Like, it's getting serious. It's not warm in here. We good? Let's start working on it now. Cool. So this is the longest writing portion of what we're going to do. So there's going to be some silence here. 1 to 3 paragraphs explaining this goal in as much detail. So what you do when writing that goal down is the title of the story. Okay? Explain the details of the goal. You want to become a firefighter. Where? When? Who? Why? For that profession, why? Why does it mean so much to you? Okay? Write down the details, 1 to 2 paragraphs behind this story. You want to become a millionaire? Awesome. There's more to that story. There's a why. Because you want freedom. What does freedom mean to you? I want financial freedom so I can travel more. Right? Okay, what do I want to travel? What does financial freedom really mean? Is it really $1 million? Is it 2? Is it 1.5? What details behind the story that you titled? So you titled the story. You're ready to go. Take the time right now. We're doing this whole thing right now, guys. We're not taking notes on the work on it. We're doing it together right now. Take the next 5-10 minutes. I'm going to stay in here and just pace back and forth and wait for you guys to write down your stories. So you have the title. The title is your goal. 1 to 2 paragraphs explaining this goal. If you're not sure, if you're stuck, just let me know. Okay? I'll come over and help. All right? Trust me, I've been doing this for a while. I've heard a lot of very different goals. Okay? So if there's something you're not comfortable sharing or want to talk about, trust me, you're not going to shock me. You'd be surprised. And for you guys on YouTube, if you have questions on the process or you're not sure about what you're writing down, make some notes and then you can reach out to us. Hit us at info@f13performance.com for an email. Send us a message through YouTube or find us on Instagram. Or if you're a member just watching from home, next time you come in, find me. I'm happy to sit down and talk to you guys individually. All right? So don't be hesitant to ask me more about your goals, even if you couldn't make it today. The more detail, the better. I love the use of sensory words, smells, tastes, sounds. When you're describing something, use those. It makes it more real. Okay? If you're buying a building, what's the place look like? What's the walls look like? How's it smell inside? If you're starting a business, where's it at? Do you have a check-in desk? How's the check-in desk look? All those little things, all those little details that you can add to it will make it seem more real. Because at some point, depending on your timeline, what you're writing down will become reality. It's amazing when you follow through this and you stick to it, it works. Ask Casey. Casey met some of his goals. He did this with me. It worked for me. Worked for a lot of people. Take your time, guys. We're going to try to wait for everybody to be finished. I don't want to rush anybody. These are important things. Okay? Need help? Do you want a clipboard? You want a clipboard? You want a table? We have a table. Can you give that to me? A little more comfortable. It's hard, guys. Writing this stuff down, it makes that goal that you're afraid of, it makes it real. And sometimes making these big audacious goals real it's scary. So once you put it on paper, it's going to happen. Something you have to work towards. You can't just talk about it anymore. How are we feeling, guys? Good? So as you're writing down these paragraphs, the next part is actually breaking these paragraphs out into bullet points. All right? Again, the more we put this on paper, the more we write it down, the more detail we'll get behind it. So, paragraph form's done. Bullet point time. Where? Where is this goal going to take place? All right? If you're just saving money, if that's a goal, it's at home. Or where are you going to work on your budgets? In my office. Okay? If you're going to become a firefighter, cool. Goal. Which department? Which city? All right? You're going to start a business. Awesome. Where? What township? What area? What city? What zip code? What building, if you know where it's at? What will be done there? So you have the location. What's going to happen in that location? Again, the more detail, the better. What will it look like? If you're inside of a building, what's it look like inside? Color of the walls. What pictures, posters, signs are hanging up? What equipment's going to be around you? What's it going to feel like? Is it warm? Is it comfortable space? Is it a cold warehouse style space? Is it outside? Who else will be there? You already wrote down names of people that we got to tell about this. Are they there with us every day when this goal is being accomplished? Are they there with the process? At the end of the goal, is someone sitting next to you? Who's there? Any more bullet point details that you want to write out? Take that time there. Take the next minute or so. Write them out. Anybody stuck? What's up? Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Love that. Okay. Okay, starting for the where. So I have a space at my house where I love to write. You know that I work with you, so I told you I write a lot. I love to write. I write really well in this one room of my house. If I put two lights on, I don't like it. I like the shades down and one light on the desk. And I close the door. If the door's not closed, I have two dogs and two kids and a wife bothering me the entire time. So there's an environment where I am the most comfortable writing things down. So what's your environment? Where's the where? It's not like you're gonna write, I'm gonna write at a coffee shop, I'm gonna write at home, I'm gonna write in the gym, no, that's not how it's gonna work. Where's the one place you know that you're the most comfortable? You can sit there freely with your pen and paper and write things down. So that's the where. That's all about environment. Especially when it comes to writing and doing something that personal, like you need that space. I've done it. So you need to have a real calm, comfortable space to write things down so you can think freely. Awesome goal, by the way. There's actually good books out there on how to write books. I can share one with you. Hardest process is starting. Yeah. You get stuck a lot. Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. Yeah. I can help with that. All right. This next part I have found personally to be the most important for me and how I work. So take the time with this. We're going to write out a list of obstacles. All right. The best way to get past an obstacle is to know it's coming. Okay. So taking the time to sit there and think about all the things that can get in your way while trying to obtain this goal. All right. Is it another person? Is it a job? Is it weather? Is it people? Is it money? Is it lack of support? Lack of education? Time? Is it yourself? That's usually most people's biggest obstacle. Just write out those obstacles. Write out those challenges. What's going to get in your way? As you're on your road to accomplishing these goals that you have written down, more obstacles that you didn't pre-plan for will pop up, or you'll start seeing things pop up. As soon as you think something's going to hold you up, stop. Write it down. Okay? Think about that obstacle. So whatever obstacles you just wrote down, all right? Whatever challenges you put on paper there, write down the solution to them. So right now, you just wrote down a few things that are going to get in your way. You already know they're going to hold you up along this path. So pre-plan for it. You know it's coming. Don't wait for it to happen. Figure out the solution now. And put it on paper. How do you avoid it? It's usually tough. If you sit there and think hard enough about it, there's an answer. All these goals starting to seem a little more real now, a little more attainable. You stuck, Frank?
Trying to think of the obstacles, like you were saying, that might pop up. The more I can think of.
Try to foresee those problems, guys. Stay ahead of them. And as they come up, try to stay ahead. Don't wait for them to happen. If you start feeling them coming, start seeing them happen, stop, pause. Use that intuition, that gut feeling you have that something might happen. It's probably right. You haven't learned that yet. Trust me, it's probably right. Stop for a second. Take a breath. Think it through. All right? The cool part is all these obstacles, you have a list of people you wrote down already that are going to help you with this goal. Talk to them. All right? Next. Something most people don't do. So a story, I have two former NFL players that I coached through this process. And obviously very successful people. Made it to the highest level of sports. Okay? And as we're going through, this part tripped them up. They paused and didn't know how to react. They actually broke down in tears when I asked them this. I'm like, how are you going to celebrate your wins when you reach your milestones within this goal? They both look at me like, celebrate wins. I'm like, yeah, when you do something good, how do you recognize it? What do you mean? No one does that. When you do something good, you accomplish a goal, you hit a milestone, most people just go to the next one. They don't take time to pause and recognize, hey, I just did something I set out to do. So the reason most of these big goals are never reached is because all you do is sit there and look at this big goal at the very end of the rainbow. All right? And then things trip you up along the way, once, twice, 3 times, and you get derailed. You stop. I guarantee in between those trip-ups, there were these little micro goals, these little milestones that you hit that you didn't even take a second to recognize. You didn't pause to recognize these little goals that you hit. All right? If you focus on the small steps towards the big goal, you'll keep going. You'll stay engaged. You'll keep moving forward, then all of a sudden, you're going to get to this big, audacious goal without even realizing you got there. You kept celebrating these little wins along the way, and you stayed on the path. You kept chipping away, and then you got there. All right? So, how are you going to celebrate your wins along this road? Are you going to have a glass of wine? It could be that simple. I'm going to allow myself to have a glass of wine. I have this really great bottle at home. I'm going to pop it every time I hit this goal. You have a favorite restaurant you want to go to. Amy wants to go to McDonald's. She wants to get a Frosty from Wendy's, whatever that thing is. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to go out and have a big extravagant $500 dinner every time you reach a little milestone. But what are you going to do? Are you going to stop and pause, recognize that you did something, and treat yourself in some way, shape, or form? I don't care if it's a little pat on the shoulder, telling somebody, it's having a special drink or a special food. You really love a good steak. Every time you reach a milestone, I'm going to cook myself a great steak. Whatever way you're going to celebrate, you need to find a way to recognize those small wins along the way to the big win. Write down what you're going to do. It's more important than you realize. You will get derailed on the path to a big goal if you don't celebrate the small ones. I guarantee it. We have these athletes that say they want to make the CrossFit Games, or they want to make nationals for weightlifting. And they go to these local meets, and they win, and they move on, and next one local meet, win, move on, next one local meet. They don't stop and realize, hey, you just won 5 meets. You just hit 7 PRs. You just did this, and they never stopped because all they care about is one big goal. And at the end of the day, like, I missed my lift today. I suck. I'm done. I'm going to do something else. It's a very simple example, but that's how it works for most big goals. I wanted to make $1 million. I just lost money. I just lost money in my business this week. Or the stock market went down. I lost money here this week. Okay, cyclical. It's going to go back up. All right, stay the course. So next time you hit a win, celebrate it. Recognize that, cool, I am moving forward. I am going to reach that one big goal. All right, so celebrating those wins along the way are very, very, very important. Okay, guys? Take the time. That part's not a joke. That's not, it's funny to say celebrate a win, have a Frosty from Wendy's. It could be that simple, and every time you go get that Frosty, like, yeah, I earned this. You know why you got it. So now you know how you're celebrating your wins. Something we haven't talked about yet, which is monumentally important, is why is this goal important to you? Why does this matter? Why is it a goal? Because it sounds cool? Because someone else told me it should be my goal? So why is this goal important to you? Write it down. If you can't think why this goal is important to you, then we got to start over. In the same breath, why it's important to you. You're going to keep writing as I talk here. How will obtaining this goal change your life? How will this affect your life? I would assume the last question of why it's important and how it's going to affect your life kind of flow together. That's why I'm going to keep you writing here, guys. So why it's important, and keep writing and tell me how it's going to affect your life. What's going to change? And the book's almost full, Aim.
I started it.
No. How are we doing, folks? All right? You're still with me? It's a lot. So we have the importance. We know how our life's going to change. We've gone through the obstacles. We've listed the people that are going to help us. We've described the goal. How's it feel now that you wrote it down the first time and said it out loud, and you all laughed when you said it? All right? And how's it feel now when you look at that goal that you wrote down? A little more real? Something that might actually happen? It's kind of cool, right? Cool. So what we're going to do now is make this thing real. Okay? We are going to write down the timeline of when all those little milestones along the way we're going to hit and what they are specifically. Now, depending on your goal, this is where it varies individually. Okay? If your goal is a year-long goal, you work back from 12 months. Sometimes I know one of the goals I set, I had a year goal, I had a 6-month goal, and then I had this other goal that's going to take me 3 years to accomplish. Okay, so my timelines were different for each one. So everybody's timeline here will be different. All right, so we're going to work through the next 120 days. Okay, if your goal is a lot longer than that, you keep building out afterwards. If it's shorter and more compact, your breaks in between will be smaller. Okay, so as we're going through this, you can say, "Hey, raise your hand." Say, "My whole thing's gonna be 6 months, so I need to break this down," or "I need 5 years to accomplish mine." Cool. We'll space these out a little longer. All right. So as we're going through it, let's talk through it. If you have questions, just stop me. So milestones. Write these down. So today is the 20th. Sorry, I leave my calendar on my phone. So today is the 20th. So 48 hours from now, we already have stuff we have to do within 48 hours. In 24 hours, you're going to tell people that hold you accountable. In 48 hours, you're going to tell people that are primary role players. Okay? So the next 48 hours, what are you going to do? So it's 11 o'clock now. By 11 o'clock on the 22nd, on Monday, at 11 o'clock, Monday the 22nd, what will be done? And the cool part is, in 48 hours from now, you can celebrate your first milestone and get that Frosty we talked about. I don't know where Frosty thing came from, guys. This is the first time I've used that. I must need a Frosty today. I don't know why. That's where my head is. But in 48 hours from now, if you check these things off your list, you get these done, you get to celebrate something. And get used to celebrating it. Okay? So in 48 hours from now, on January 22nd, Monday, what will be done? Bullet pointed. Check it off the list. And if you're a day planner guy, I'm a day planner guy. Write these in your planners on these dates. So take it from this paper that you have now. It's your homework. Besides accomplishing your goals, is write these things in your planner. If you're a phone person and your entire life is on your calendar and your phone, put them in your phone as events. Get reminders. All right? Cool. 1 week from today will be the 27th, January 27th, next Saturday. What will be done? Again, another milestone, another celebration. "30 days from now, a month, February 20th is a Tuesday. February 20th, that Tuesday, 30 days from now, what will be done by then?" Now, obviously, those 48 hours, 1 week goals are they're very micro. You see them, they're right there in front of you. A little easier to define. As these dates get further and further away, the goal might be a little more broad. All right. So as this process goes on, you can add more details and more micro goals along the way. You don't have to stick to every 30, 60, 90 days. You can add other benchmarks in there for you to look at and celebrate. All right. Like if you want to write a book, you give yourself an end date. Usually a great timeline for someone to write a book, 6, 9, 12 months is usually like a sweet spot. Work back from there. Once you elongate it over too long of a period of time, especially since you're fresh out of college, and that's what you said your topic is, you want to stay as close to that as possible. All right. The further you get away from that time and that experience, the less detail you'll retain. So stay on it. All right. Especially for that goal specifically. Stay in it. Don't let that process take over a year. All right. Okay. We just hit 30 days, February 20th. 60 days. March 20th is a Wednesday. Mid-March. I'll have a third kid by then. 18th is your due date. All of ours have been early, though, so it should probably come early. Yeah. Could be. St. Patrick's Day? Yeah. My wife is Irish. Cool. March 20th. 60 days out. Where are we at? We have milestones. We have things written down. Remember, when you hit these, you get to celebrate. '90 days, April 20th. Back to a Saturday. 90 days, April 20th. Springtime. Where do you need to be 90 days from now to be closer to this goal? Usually this far out, we don't have as many things to write down 90 days out. So we can go 120 days. May 20th. See what day of the week it is. May 20th. A Monday. Monday, May 20th. And the last one we're going to write down as a group is going to be a Thursday, June 20th. So we did 30-day gaps there. Usually up to that point, the 120-day mark, 30 days is kind of a sweet spot. Anything after that, if you're going to sit down at this point and write down milestones, I would jump out to 60 days from there. So go to like 180 days from 120. Okay? Every 30 days there, this far out from that goal, might be tough to find those little micro things inside. I would plan 45 to 60 days out from there. Now, as those days get closer, so we're 3 months in, we're 90 days into this goal, those dates are closer to you, you might have more micro goals to insert. Does that make sense? So keep adding more checkpoints for yourself to stay accountable towards this end goal. And the last part, The final date. It's a goal. You wrote it down. If you haven't, put the date you will have this accomplished by on paper. Give your goal an end date. If you don't, you're not going to get there. There's no end in there. Give your goal an end date. When do you want to have this accomplished by? Like I have one of my goals I know I set for August of 2025. Out. I said it last year. It's almost over 2.5 years out. I knew by August of 2025, this had to be accomplished. So whatever that end date is for you, it could be 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever it is. Pick that date and write down that date. If you need to know what date it is on a phone, like an actual day of the week and number on a calendar, let me know. I'll look it up for you. I have mine open. You know, what's the date of, the second week of August in 2027, whatever it is, whatever you think that is, just let me know. I'll look it up for you because I want a hard date. Okay? And make sure when we're done here, you put that in your calendars. And if you don't accomplish this goal by the time you get there, it's going to pop up and remind you. So don't let that happen. All right? Who has questions? You're all staring at me. Everybody's wrist hurt from writing so much. No one writes anymore, so if you're not used to it. Michelle, we good? Gonna make it?
Huh?
You gonna make it? Nah, you're gonna make it. So, outside of this goal stuff, just so you guys know, like I obviously own a gym and coach in a gym and coach fitness. Besides all this stuff, I do a lot of one-on-one and small group coaching with victim mentality, storytelling, the words we use, goal setting. So along the way toward your goals, there's a sign above my office of soft talk, it's called. There's words that we use on a daily basis that allow us to have an out and be non-committal to what we're saying. Come over tonight? Yeah, I might be there. I might. Someone ever tells you might, count on them not showing up. You coming over tonight? Yeah, maybe. I'll see if I can make it. No, they're not coming. Without them having the guts to say, I can't make it, Nate. Sorry. They're just trying to soft talk their way out of it. So when writing your goals down and thinking about accomplishing these, try to remove those words and that kind of talk from your language. Like, maybe, kind of, probably, sort of. There's a whole list of them above my office door if you want to go take a picture of it and write them down. We don't like using those when you come talk to me. All right? So remove that vocabulary when it comes to this goal. You should remove it, period. But when it comes to your goal setting and writing things down, get rid of it. All right? Something else along the way. The only person that's in charge of you making this goal happen is you. You have your list of people that are going to help you, hold you accountable, and people you need to count on throughout the process. But in the end, this is yours. Own it. Don't say I didn't reach my goal because this happened outside of my control. All right? That's an excuse. You're now allowing yourself to be the victim of the world around you. It's called the victim mentality. All right? Don't allow that to be why you don't reach a goal. Okay? If you don't reach a goal, it's because you made a choice somewhere along the way not to make it important. All right? Now, goals change. Life changes. Things happen. You evolve as a person. Sometimes your focus changes. Okay, I had a young lady last year whose goal was to make it to the CrossFit Games in 3 years based on where she was at in life. Had a baby. Her goal has now changed. Okay, she no longer has that goal. She has goals around motherhood and being a parent. Awesome. It's okay for goals to evolve and change as long as it really matches what you want to do. Don't make concessions because someone else told you something or the world around you told you something. If you sit down in this circle like this, or you sit down by yourself in silence and look at your paper and look at what you wrote down and say, you know what? This really isn't important to me anymore. Or this is important to me, just in a different way. Be honest with yourself to own that, okay? Things change. Everybody changes. Everybody grows and evolves as life changes and the world changes around us. That's okay. Just make sure you don't avoid a goal because of something else. All right. If it's what you truly want to do, if this goal still rings true for you, stick with it. Is it important to you? It doesn't matter if it's important to anybody else. Okay. If this is your goal, continue down this path for you. It's not selfish. Okay. If you're not happy with the direction you're going, no one else around you will be happy to be around you. All right. Stay the course. Always work towards these goals. If you have questions moving forward, you wrote all that stuff down, you go home, think about it. You tell your accountable people in 24 hours, you tell your primary people in 40 hours, and next week you're like, holy shit, what am I going to do? You're overwhelmed, you're not sure if you can make it. Find me. Okay? It's what I do. Ask the question. I can talk about this stuff all day long. I love it. Okay? Find me. I will make time. I promise you I will make time. All right, to sit down and talk with anybody that needs to talk. All right. And if you're on YouTube right now, then Casey said we have a few people on there and you're stuck, come find me next week. Reach out. We will sit down and talk. I will make time for all of you as well. All right. If you couldn't make it today, I get it. I know some people had kids things going on today. If you couldn't make it, that's fine. Come see me. Come talk. We'll walk through it. You guys, ask. All right. Questions, comments, concerns. There shouldn't be any concerns because this is exciting stuff. I'm excited for you. This stuff's fun. And if you don't have a notebook and you're writing on a piece of paper now, go buy a freaking notebook. Keep this stuff all in one place. I have 3. I have one that stays on my desk here, one that stays in my gym bag, I have one that stays on my desk at home. Always a notebook and always a pen available. All right? Cool. Awesome, guys. Great job. I appreciate you guys coming and staying here today and talking through this. Again, if you have any questions, just ask.